was saying, in my opinion, I don't think sneaky links. I was saying, in my opinion, I don't think like people who are dating or partners are a distraction. Actually, being in a relationship can actually be a way to grow. Because me being in a relationship means that I have somebody to share my goals with. I have somebody who supports me in whatever I want to do. But people who say that kuwa kwa relationship, ama kuwa na madem, ama kuwa na boy is like you posing your goals or you being distracted. Those are the kind of people when you unapatanga. If I start dating somebody, I stop my whole life for this person. I'm not gonna do that. I am dating you doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop living my life. And people should actually learn that the fact that I am dating somebody doesn't mean like my whole life revolves around this person. No, me, I'm actually the kind of person who, when you're dating, I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do, and later after come, babe, nilifanya hivi na hivi. You either deal with it, or that's for you to deal with it. Because for me, nimeamua, this is the kind of path that I want to take. If you don't want to support me in the kind of path that I want to take, the door is open. Just walk out.
Really? So the relationship is done, gone.
No, the problem is, Mitch, you cannot tell me that because I'm dating you, I have to stop my whole life so that my whole life can revolve around.
Not stop your whole life,
but what if I stopped doing whatever I was doing so that I can support my man's career? What happens when that man amepata pesa, amepata like what they do?
No, like,
they upgrade to a better woman.
Not really. Like, have you seen Ronaldo and
that's
Georgina?
Okay, how is that let different? Me tell you something. How many relationships? How many men do you actually know that women stayed with them when they were building? But Christina has built her career. Christina has built her career.
No, she had her own career, but the fact that she dated him, elevated her to a different level,
but she still has a career, right?
Yeah, she still has a career.
I'm saying, the people who are usually like, I'm going to stop being, like, for example, I'm studying psychology. I decide when I finish school, I'm going to be a housewife so that my man can work and provide for the family.
Actually, I wanted to talk about that. This thing of people having kids, but you're too busy for your kids. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like, me, I'd actually want to stay home and take care of my kids.
Your kids?
Yeah, I'd want to stay home and take care of my kids for a while, or like have my other businesses on the side. But hikituya, like now your kids are attached to the nannies is a problem for me. And then you guys don't even have a relationship with your kids because your husband is busy. Your husband is busy.
That's really bad. You're busy.
Nani akienda off. I don't know if you saw that video of like this lady mwenye alikuwa anafanyia kazi like this Dubai family. And when she had gone, she had taken them off. Family. Yeah, the Lebanon. The kids were crying at the airport, securely attached to the nanny, and not their parents. Like they don't have no relationship whatsoever with their parents.
I'm gonna say the problem is, I also want that for my future kids. I tried doing that with the kid that I have. When I gave birth to my kid, I stayed home for 1 year and 6 months before I went back to school. Then nikamwachana family. I did not, and they had nannies. Like, of course, they had people taking care of them and helping out. But the problem is, in this economy, unapata like, oh my God, I want to have kids. And most of the time, unapatanga, kids are not planned. You're not going to sit down and be like, okay, actually, a lot of people, kitambo, they don't plan kids. But for me, what I told myself is like, after my first kid, I want to plan my second kid. I want to know this kid, anataka kuja mwaka fulani, and this is where I want to be in life at that specific point. Because you find the problem is, most people actually get pregnant at the peak of their careers or at the peak of their life. Unapata, time career yako inaenda kupik, unapata mimba. And at that point, you have a choice to make. You have to choose your kid or your career. And most people, what they actually do is they're like, let me choose my career over my kid so that I can secure a future for this kid. But you forget, in you doing that, you're abandoning your kid in a way. I'm not saying you're abandoning them in a way because these kids are usually going to feel like my mom doesn't love me as much as this nanny loves me.
Yeah.
And also, have you like had trauma stories of nannies and what they do to their kids? I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, that's I even told myself, like, if I'm going to have more kids in the future, the next time I'm going to give birth and get pregnant, I'm going to stay with my kid the same way I did with my first one. I'm going to stay at home for 1 year and 6 months, doing my businesses, knowing I'm in the house. Kama nafanya biashara, natoka, naenda, narudi. Set naenda the whole day, and then I come back. No.
What if your husband is not comfortable with that?
That is a conversation we have had. And I think being a mom actually changed my perspective on many things. That's a conversation we have had. If you're having kids, we know the environment we want to raise our kids in, and I think he's okay with the fact that I want to stay at home and raise the kids for 1 year 6 months before I go back to work. So nasema nacha kazi zangu. I wanna like maybe start my own business where I know this business is running, and as much as I'm giving back, as much as I'm being a mom at home, my business is also doing well. Because unajua, the problem is I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be a mom, so I'm gonna stop doing everything. My husband is gonna take care of everything because I'm in the house. But nasawengi, this man might actually, I'm not praying bad on anyone, but napatanga, this person is going to lose their job. How you guys gonna survive? You're living in a rental. You guys are not saved
so
up.
I feel like the number one thing that I always say personally for me, you just have to be rich. Do you understand? Because I'm not giving birth. So honestly, if you don't, like, I know people have different opinions on abortion, but I feel like if it happens, because you're saying that's how most pregnancies happen, they're not planned, but you can't bring a kid into this world and then mko busy ni wote, mnaishi kwa rental, mnaacha mtoto na nani ujui kenye amefanyia mtoto wako, the whole amempiganisha huko. You understand? That's not okay. So if you're not rich, just move, because
I'm not gonna tell people that.
I just have to stay home and take care of my babies, and if you're not comfortable with that, then you stay home and take care of them. Me, I'll work.
That is not the problem. The problem is finding a man who is actually okay with you staying at home. Do you know how many men right now want women who will help them pay the bills? Like, I've gone on a date. I've gone on a date with somebody who was like, me, tukena date nataka tukae chini tuongelele. Like, if I see a future with you, I want to sit down and talk like what happens in our life. And I actually went on a date with somebody who told me this. Hataki housewife.
Most men are like that.
Hataki housewife. Na hataki mtu wa biashara. Anataka mtu anafanya kazi 8 to 5. And I remember I was like, I just turned my brain off and I was like, I'm just here for the food. Nikule chakula nirudi kwa nyumba. Because I'm not staying with somebody who does not understand the concept of I don't have to work an 8 to 5 job. And I'm not saying that like I'm working an 8 to 5 job ni baya. But let me tell you something. I'm working an 8 to 5 job. You're working an 8 to 5 job. Tumeingia kwa nyumba, mimi nitaingia 6, wewe utaingia 7. Because you work at different. No. But tunasahau kitu, tuliingia at the same time in the house. And you come in, shower, and sit down at the seat. Unagoja nikupikie. Mimi nasemanga, as much as I love cooking, if I am cooking, and if you want me to take care of the house, you have to let me work at my own pace. Kama nafanya kazi, wacha nifanye kazi yangu. Like ile yenye najua, let's jisikie kufungua kazi. I'll either call somebody to come and go and open the biashara, angalia, mimi nikae home. Because you don't expect me to go to work 8 to 5. Alafu jioni tukiingia kwa hawa tumeingia at the same time, wewe ukae chini mimi na if I'm doing an 8 to 5 job and you're working an 8 to 5 job, when we get into the house tunaingia kwa kitchen sisi wawili. You wanna eat? Get there, you're helping me cook. Kama si hivyo, you go wash the dishes, I cook. Or you cook, I wash the dishes. We have to share chores.
If we are sharing roles,
we have because unajua pia hiyo 8 to 5 job unapata mzee atakwambia si unafanya 8 to 5 job. So pesa yako inalipa rent, pesa yangu inalipa hizo bills zingine. Okay, I'm not saying you're not supposed to share bills. I'm not saying you're not supposed to share bills. Yes, I will share bills with you. But let me work at my own pace. Don't force me to do that 8 to 5 job. Because most 8 to 5 jobs, what they do is you come home when you're mentally and physically drained. And then you get to the house, you have kids you have to take care of. And then there are some of them, when you're working an 8 to 5 job, and this man will still be like, stuck in nanny. Personally,
I'm not comfortable with sharing bills with no man. Do you understand? I'm taking care of your kids. I'm taking care of you. If you're expecting me to cook, don't expect me to provide. You're providing for everything.
Okay, I'm okay with. I'm not saying I'm okay with sharing bills, but I'm okay with helping out where I can. Not sharing
helping
bills,
out,
like helping out where different. I can. Because when I met you, I used to have my own like life. I used to be able to afford my things that I afford in my life. So I'm okay with helping out. But telling me that just because you are getting married or because you are moving in together, tunaandika bills hapa tunagawana 50-50. Mimi sijilipi proposal ya 50-50. I don't know if you had the story of the chick who paid for her own proposal.
I saw that.
I was like, I'm not paying for no proposal. Like, if you're not going there, kwanza proposal is a personal choice. It's for you as a man to decide, I want to make this girl my girlfriend. So it's, mi nakujia wapi hapo.
Yeah.
How am I paying the bill in that? I'm saying I'm not paying 50-50, but I'm going to help out where I can.
Did you know that during marriage, like okay, nunuliwa ring, you're also meant to.
Yes, I know you're supposed to
Actually
buy a
didn't
ring.
know
I know that.
that.
I know
just
that.
knew that
Because-
recently.
No, me ni love a girl. So utapata, like when it comes to marriages and proposals, I'm so up to this. And the problem is, where dem ukipewa pete, you forget to put a ring on that man.
Yeah.
That man will go to the club and will not say he's claimed.
Mm.
Akienda cheat. He doesn't have a ring on his
You know
finger.
me, I always knew, like if he's buying a ring, he's buying a ring for the both of us.
No,
and then
you
my
buy
work is
the
just
ring.
to. Yeah, I didn't know that. So he's buying you a diamond, and then you buy him what with your 8 to 5 job.
You know, I
Struggling
actually
to
had people-
pay rent.
I don't know if you've had this conversation of people being like, how much is a man supposed to spend on a ring?
No, I didn't hear that conversation.
You should hear that conversation. People have so many opinions.
But I feel like it shouldn't matter.
It should. Thank you. For me, the price of the ring doesn't matter, but the value of the ring being on my finger, that matters to me. Like the reason you put it there, but the price of it doesn't actually matter, because unajua, if you look in our like African societies, so you buy me a ring. Okay, let's give an example. You buy me a ring worth 100K. Oh, I'm happy. We go to my parents. Wanataka dowry. And you know, I've looked at that ceremony where there's sijui kumenya moshe, kuna kuleta soda, kuna kumenya moshe, kuleta soda, then the dowry payment, and then there's another one where after you get married now, your parents and your family go back to the gents family. Who covers all those expenses? The man. So mwanaume amekunulia ring ya 100K, and then you go there, your story Aurora show, this man pays for everything. So what are you doing? You're actually removing money from this man's account without helping me putting it. And I remember I used to have a teacher in high school mwenye alikuwa tuchekesha kituambia yeye atalipa dowry bora bibi yake alipe one of the events, because those events are so expensive.
What events? Like exercises?
Is all like the is all kumenya moshe where the like the
I
gents
feel
family.
like all these things are so unnecessary.
Me, I'm usually like, and I remember
alafu hours when wanakonga kwa hizo dowry ceremony, where do they have
they
say?
over exaggerate
And
everything.
then,
So
like,
you have
where
to come
they
with
even-
Moratina, you have to come. And I remember
I want to ask, why are they getting money for nothing? They didn't help
For
your parents raise
negotiating.
you. Like, me, I feel like you should just send my parents money, and the rest of the money, you don't even have to have the ceremony. Let's go on vacation or
let me
something.
tell you, my grandmother always tells me something. She's always like, ukipata mtu mlete nitawapea baraka yangu. Mwende mwanze maisha. That's my grandmother.
Yeah.
And you'll find a lot of people are usually like, hapana ufai kufanya hivyo, you're supposed to pay this, and you're supposed to, and you know the worst thing is I had someone on TikTok complaining for the Kikuyu culture. You're a Kikuyu.
Yeah.
So for the Kikuyu culture unapata nimeenda home. My mom was not, mamangu hakurashirio. Like my mom's dowry was not paid. So siwezi mlipa. So I'm like, let me go to my grandparents. Nasikia shosho yangu hakurashirio. So kwa shosho yangu, you go to the parents. The mother to my grandmother was not rashirioed. So you find like for you to get to a point where you have to pay your dowry, umelipa madeni za watu wengi, you know. And I had people saying the elders should sit down and come with a solution. But me, I'm like, I'm for the solution where we want to get married. Let's go to my parents. They give us their blessings. Tuwape chenye tutaweza. We go to your parents. They give us our blessings. And we give them what we can. And let's start a marriage. Because as much as people are paying dowry, let me ask you a question. Why would I lipiwa dowry because your mom took you to school and did everything for you? Kwani uboya yako lipiwa school fees?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Kwani uboya yako kwenda shule? So, you know, so you find as much as people are paying dowry, I don't agree with the concept of dowry. I know people are going to disagree on me with that, but I don't agree with the concept of dowry, because the concept of dowry is actually draining people out here. And you know, niko naongea na beshte yangu fulani, I'm not going to say he's married, but he has like a baby mama and they have kids together. And recently we were talking and I was like, hey, unajua bibi yangu alinikana. And I was like, why? And I was like, ati just jalipa dowry kwao. Akasema yesi bibi. And now in my head I'm like, you've lived with this man to a point where you guys have kids together. You've invested in places together. You have investments together. And just because your friend alipelekewa dowry, unasema wewe ujolewa juu kupelekewa dowry.
Wow.
So is this man supposed to focus on paying your kids' school fees?
Didn't she know that before she
So
got into
unajua
a marriage
pressure ya
with this
madem.
thing?
Baby girls unajua pressure ya madem. Wewe juu boyfriend wako amefanya hivi, mimi nataka boyfriend wangu anifanye hivyo.
No, but the thing is, you have to get to a point before you even get into a relationship where you know yourself, this is the kind of person I am.
This is the kind of
So if you see yourself as a prize, you don't have to wait to see your friend anafanyiwa hivi ndio uko like kai mbona anafanyiwa hivi, mbona mimi chali yangu anifanyii hivi. Because that's where like comparison, ukianza kujicompare na mabeshe zako, you'll never be satisfied in your relationship. Personally, I believe in dowry. Like it's culture. Like if my parents did it, like
you're supposed to do it.
Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? Like why are we stopping culture at just because
it's your
at
like I said, I don't believe in the concept of dowry, but I believe in the concept of going to ask for grace and blessings from our parents, because it's the same either way. Because unapata each dowry yako imekuwa around 5M. Just an example. Your dowry is around 5M. This man does not even make that much. So unapata this man will try as hard as possible. Juu unafaa kulipa half and then you pay like the other slowly. No. So umefika place unalipa 2.5.
But yawa Kikuyu sijui nakwanga how many cows?
I don't know.
Now the price of the like cows it's same. Yes,
so
I think
you give
maybe
the
10,
price,
but the price of the cow changes. Yeah.
So that's why I'm giving an example where, so this man amejaribu raise 2M. So no, amekuja amelipa dowry. But then after paying 2M for your dowry, you guys are going back to a rental. So your 2M ngechukua mnunue shamba.
Doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make sense to you. So you'd rather get a man who pays 2 million for a dowry, but you're going to live in a rental house.
I've said it doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, that story of kupilipa a dowry.
Yeah.
That is why I am not agreeing.
No. I believe in the concept of dowry, but I also believe in marrying an already established man. Me, I'm not growing with you in whatever way. That's why right now I'm not in a relationship. I want to grow, and I hope my man, wherever he is, he's growing and establishing himself, because I'm not like growing with no one.
I would rather grow with someone than find someone who's already grown.
That's okay. But
why do you prefer like having someone who's established and everything?
Yeah, see, all these things we've already discussed. Now, when you decide, when you get a kid, you have to also
so that is why you want
an
established man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. Most of these men, when you're not established, when you are, they avoid these all distractions. I'm gonna put it that way. So unapata, this man established himself, but alikuwa na sneaky links and friends with benefits. So by the time this man settles, and I'm gonna say this, whoever takes it partly, I'm sorry, ameokota a lot of spiritual demons, because this man is sleeping around. So ameokota, I'm just saying, there's an example. It's just an example.
Yeah.
Maybe ameokota those spiritual demons.
Yeah.
So you find this man, he's established. Sikatai yako hizo do. But wale maspirits amebeba amekuja kulala na watu, nani anajichukua? You're the one who's going to be the final post.
But you can like go for cleansing or something.
How many men do you think actually believe in cleansing?
But if he's your partner and he's ready to settle down, they don't even believe in soul ties in the first place. But not men alone. But then you also see, women. Some women. Okay,
pia wana women. And nasema me being with the fact where I wanna grow with somebody is because I wanna grow knowing your behaviors. Because it's a point where currently at my age, it's a point where like 10 years from today, there are things that we are doing right now with the person I'm dating that are that at moment tunafanya, because we have grown out of that age.
So ukigrow na mtu alafu akifika hiyo pattern sasa kona doa kona everything, you're not his type anymore.
We grew together, which means as much as you are growing, I was also growing. As much as you're establishing your businesses, I was also doing the same on my part. So if your place uko na doa yako, mimi niko na doa yangu, hata tukiachana itaniuma. You are there, I will call you a bridge in my life. You are there, you helped me to go from where I am right now to where I am going. You got me there, you got tired of me. Sawa. Thank you. Next person.
Let her cook.
Let her cook. Because I am cooking. Because as a manga, I have a friend of mine who is like, when she's dating, she stops her whole life, Googles the kind of person she's dating, has a conversation with the person where she's like, so what do you want me to do as your girlfriend? And she centers her whole life around that relationship. When that relationship doesn't work, the mental breakdown that girl goes through are bad, because she stopped her whole life. Na mimi mana, as much as I am dating, I am doing my own thing. Like in a point, I'm like, oh, I'm actually dating. I'm supposed to tell my boyfriend I did this. After I've already done it, and I'm like, it worked or it didn't work. Right now, I'm planning on investing somewhere, and I've not even told him about it. And I don't think I'm gonna tell him about it until he may invest. Unless I ask you a podcast, until I've invested on it and it has given me profits. That's when I'm going to be like, oh, but they nili invest, please. Nataka to invest. Unataka kutoa pesa kwa invest. That's the kind of control I'm going to have. Because I remember My uncle gives forex classes, or he used to hajapeana mwaka. And I remember one time he came over akapata nikizo classes. He was like, hey, unafanyanga forex? Naambia no, I'm just in the classes, like I'm just, if the classes work, I'm gonna do the investment. So nikamwambia unataka? I gave him the link. I don't know if I know he used to go to the classes kwa sababu nikiingia kwa class nilikuwa na link yake iko hapo. I don't know if he invested in forex. I'm hoping he did. But I heard from somebody that he actually invested in forex and he talked for him. No, like we don't get to discuss the investments that we make in our life. But kuna ile yenye we know what we want to do next year. We know what we want to do in the next couple of years. Like we have started and we're like, in 2026, this is what we want to do. If it works out, well and good. If it doesn't work out, we work much harder. That is what growing.
So I thought you were growing together. So
we
you're
are
supposed
together.
To discuss your investments.
I'm not supposed to discuss my investments with you because for me, when I'm investing, my main goal in mind is not my money. The goal in my mind when I'm investing is my kid.
But you're now a whole family.
We are dating.
You're
not
growing
married.
Together.
We are dating. We are not married. And we are dating together. We are growing together. So, me na job.
But you're dating for marriage.
I'm hoping, yes, I'm hoping I'm in a relationship for marriage. I'm dating for marriage and then get somewhere and I'm like, this is not actually what I wanted. Like, to my place, I'm like, I was dating you for marriage, but to my point where I'm like, I don't want to get married anymore. Or you don't want to get married anymore. So that's a conversation I'm supposed to have. But right now, I'm dating for marriage. That's my main goal in this relationship. But if it doesn't work out, I'm okay. And that's what I'm saying. Unapatanga, most of my investments and most of the things that I think through, the first person who's always in my mind is usually my kid. Because as much as I'm dating this person, he's not my father's kid. And yes, maybe in the future it's gonna be like my stepdad, the stepdad to my kid, but he's never gonna be the father to my kid. Now, as much as Yana invest, yes, and invest. Maybe when he's investing and he's investing with the future of us in my mind, mimi na invest kwa sababu najua if we have kids with him, he's gonna take care of our kids.
Yeah.
But for my kid, I came with this kid into the relationship. I came with this kid into my marriage. So this kid will always be my first priority as long as we're dating. But if we have other kids, I'm going to prioritize the same. But as much, nasemanga, if I make an investment right now, whatever I'm investing right now, most of my investments, I'm going to put them in my kid's name. If we get married, the investments we make when you're married, we're going to put them in our name. Which means they're going to be for our kids. Because unapatanga, what most single mothers do, or moms, single moms. I don't like people calling me a single mother, but what most moms do.
So what will you like to be?
Just call me a mom. Because whoever gave me the kid doesn't do shit for the kid.
So he's a deadbeat.
He's actually supposed to be dead, but we don't push bad on him. He's a deadbeat. So this deadbeat does nothing for the kid.
Yeah.
Nimemit mse mwenye, they have a good relationship with my kid. They're really friends with my kid, and that's something that I'm okay with. But what single moms need to do is, when you get married, unafikiria mwanaume anajua mtoto ni wake. No. Men, when you get married to a man, in my opinion, that man is going to be thinking about the kids that you're going to have. The kid who came into the marriage, yes, atamtreat mtoto wake, but akiinvest na invest watoto ngapi? Watoto mliza pamoja. So our investments zote you will make, investment. And I remember my grandmother telling me something. When you're making decisions right now before you get married, Roman is your kid. Roman should be your first priority. That's my kid's name. Is your first priority.
Yeah.
Because if I make investments in my name, we get married tukosane, and we are legally married, we go for divorce. My property yenye nilikuja nayo kwa marriage tunagawana 50-50 na mwanaume.
Mbona?
That is how it works. Whatever we came into the marriage, kama iko na jina yangu na iko na jina yake, we just watu wenye they get divorced but they can divide their property because the property is in the mom's name.
Yeah.
But you go into a marriage with a property in your name, and the man comes into marriage with a property in your name, you get married, when you're divorcing, you're splitting all the properties 50-50. Whether ulikuja nayo kwa marriage, whether alikuja nayo kwa marriage. So for me, just staki your stress here. Oh my God, I'm married and then you're splitting up with this kid. I have nothing in my name. So I'm investing everything in my kid's name. Any property I buy, from one's name.
That's smart.
Yeah, So najua, my kid's future is secured. Itafika point where if my kid is moving out because he's a boy, at some point he's going to move out and I'm okay with that, he has property in his name. He has investment in his name where he's like, okay, my mom actually took care of me. But most single mamas, what they do is you forget about your kid. Una invest na jina yako, mkifika huko mbele, uko achia mtoto wako anything. Mali kigawanywa 50-50, do you think you'll still have the same net worth you would have had if you had invested in your kid's name?
But think about it this way. If, God forbid, something happens, you pass away, and you've left your property in Roman's name. You know, Roman won't have access to that money or those finances until he gets to a certain
18 years
age.
old.
Yeah.
So nikiandika na jina yake, and as much as I'm the legal guardian, I have to rate my next of kin. And that's where the problem is, because you have to actually trust people and be okay with people. Like, I'm investing this money in my kid's name, but if anything happens to me, I am trusting my kid in your hands. There's a difference between investing and trusting people with your money and trusting people with your kid. Because unasikianga stories nilacha mtoto wangu mtu fulani and this happened. Have you heard the story of the 24-year-old woman who was caught because of child pornography? So she runs a daycare in Wangige. What she does is, when you bring your kid, anawaforce wafanye.
Oh, I've seen that thing, but I didn't
So
delve into the
uli
details.
trust mtu na mtoto wako kamwachia amwangele mtoto wako the whole day wewe uende job. Amechukua mtoto wako amefanya hivyo. Videos
It's the thing
trend.
I was saying. You just have to
You see?
take care of your kids.
But like you've said, if something happens, who are you okay trusting your kid with? Me, I'm okay trusting my kid with any member of my family.
Yeah, your siblings or something.
My sister
or
is 7 years old. I don't have another sibling.
parents. Like, before you trust another man, he's gonna probably marry
I'm
another
not
wife.
saying I'm gonna trust like my kid, my Roman. Atinesa Roman na mtu na date. As much as I trust that person, as much as I trust that man, I'm not leaving my kid in your hands.
Same.
Because wanaume,
Yeah.
men will do you
Because how
shege.
long do you think it will take him before
For
he
he
finds
gets
another
and is
woman?
like, oh, men
And
will
then-
hit anything in a skirt.
And then they're like, Ati, she will have wanted this wherever she
Mimi
is.
kwanza nasemanga,
Who?
you see
Like,
those friends who are usually
sifanyeni
like,
watoke.
ati kwa sababu alikufa, and you come and tell my man, oh, you know she's gone, should have wanted you to move on. I did not want you to move
Yeah,
on.
I did.
Kaa hapo, utupatane binguni.
Ati,
Ati, I know she would have wanted you
No,
to, as long as
I-
you are married, I don't want you to move on.
I
Like,
also don't want you to move
focus
on.
on our kids, focus
Yeah.
on our future, like that
and
future
wait
that we
for
hope to be.
yourself to die.
Tupatane huko binguni.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
this, ati, oh, should have wanted you to.
No.
I did not want you to move on. I don't want you to move on. And I'm not saying you get stuck like in grieving, but I'm also saying like men should also consider the fact that I have a kid with this person and whatever happens to them. I know the problem is a lot of single moms, we get into relationships. Unapatanga, for me personally, I've tried dating people who have kids and it didn't work.
Oh.
Like, as a mom, I've tried. You know, people are younger. If you date somebody, and people usually tell me, and sometimes it'll come a point I stopped listening to people because I used to have friends who would be like, "Don't date because you have a kid. Don't date somebody who doesn't have a kid because they're not gonna understand where you're coming from." But how to work on a toto? God.
But I
Ingine
thought
hawana
that's when
akili.
that's how they understand, because pia wako
No,
na
let me
watoto,
tell you something.
so
Mitch.
it's-
So unapata mtu ako na mtoi. No. But ana co-parent. Co-parenting and being a full-time dad are two different things.
it's different.
And these
Yeah.
co-parents, they're actually deadbeats. I'm going to call them that. They are co-parents who are deadbeats. Not all of them. They are co-parents who are deadbeats.
I think most of them though. Let's call it what it
co-parenting
is.
yako,
Let's call it what it
si
is.
ile ya mnashare mtoto twice, mnashare mtoto katikati ya wiki.
Ati
So co-parent
ama-
yako ni ile, nitachukua mtoi saa to, na start tu madonta lipa school fees direct. Si ndio? Mtoto anakula nini? Okay, skatai inaenda kazi. But you're a deadbeat because I'm actually the one who's doing everything. But the healthy co-parenting ni ile tunaambia na mtu yako shule Ngong Road. Tunahamia Ngong Road. So we don't have to live together, but we're living in Ngong Road. I have the kid
Monday
3 days
to
a week.
Wednesday.
You have the kid 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Sunday, tunaenda family day out. If you have your girlfriend or your kid introducing to my kid, come with the girlfriend. I'm okay with that.
Oh, I know.
Nimesema a
That's-
girlfriend, you're okay. Or a person who you know is a long time partner.
Yeah.
Because unajua Mitch huwezi date mtu anakuambia kila Sunday tunaenda kumbita baby mama wangu na mtu yote itikia.
Me hata why am I
Thank you.
even meeting your girlfriend? Like,
No.
me, I wouldn't want that.
No, I'm saying you date somebody who has a kid and then they tell you every Sunday they meet with the baby mama.
Yeah, I won't accept that, and I
You
won't
see?
even go there to meet them.
You see?
Yeah.
So I'm saying most co-parents, most men who are co-parents are actually deadbeats. Because unapata, this man will be like, ndalipa school fees but ndalipa direct shule. Kwani ukinitumia pesa unaona kama nitakula? This is my kid. This is my kid and my kid comes first. There's no time to me school fees. Mtoto wangu ni kule. I know what I want
But
for
you know,
my
there are
kid.
moms like that, though.
Okay, there are amounts like that, but
Yeah.
ukipata unajua the problem is we get kids with people we get kids with people we don't actually understand. But being a deadbeat ni ile hulipi school fees, but unataka kuona mtu kila weekend. Na juu maybe the baby mama is nice enough, she's like, you can have the kid over the weekend. But I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
Me, if you're not paying if you're not taking financial responsibility for my kid, you have no right to my kid.
Yeah.
And I remember a friend of mine telling me, what single moms must have to do is take the legal right away from your baby daddy. If he's not co-parenting with anything, take the legal right away. Kwa sababu, mtu hii, unaona wala unaendanga unasikia mtu akisema, oh, mtoto wangu amepata pesa sasa amerudi kwa babake. You know what they do? So this man still has a legal right over your kid, right? So mtu yeye ameenda amekuwa mkubwa, and maybe you gave him a story of what actually happened. But ameenda ametafuta certificate apata jina babake, amemtafuta, and they sit down and have a conversation with the dad. What happens then? The dad will not actually give the story of the story that you gave. Hakuna venye stories zenyu zitaendana. Kuna mtu anataka kuwa mzuri, kuna mtu anataka kuwa mbaya. And that's why I usually tell myself, as much as I love my kid, when it comes to that part where I have to akiniuliza kusema babake, as much as I hate that man, I'm gonna have to want him to be there. No, I'm gonna want him to be there. To explain story what happened. You're not in the birth certificate, let's start there. So you have no legal right to my kid. But at some point my kid is gonna want to know who you are. So no. We're gonna have to sit down pamoja tupeane story. Because your side of the story is not my side of the story. My side of the story, sisi wawili ni wabaya. Maybe instead of the story, mi ndio mbaya.
But didn't you say that when once a chapter is closed, it's
I have closed that chapter.
Like...
But being a mom is so different because as much as najipenda, I have to put my kid forward. Mi chakuna vya mtu wangu atakuja niambie, Nicole, mom, nataka kujua mtoto wangu babangu ni nani? Nimwambie staki. Because no, I'm gonna tell you the story. But also in my head niko ile idea ya niliambia story ni kama unaona udaku. Ulikuja ukaambia udaku, kuja kuambia Nicole alisema hivi kukuhusu. And then you don't ask me. So you go in that mentality ya Nicole aliniambia hivi. So you hate me for no reason. Ndio. But maybe chenye uliambiwa is a totally different story from what actually happened. That is what happens with single moms and single dads telling the story about the other side of the story. Ndio. Because mimi nitakuja nimwambie itakuwa kama udaku nimwambie. Ataenda and one or the other he's gonna find out who his dad is and he's gonna ask his side of the story. What if he asks the side of the story and his side of the story doesn't match mine? This kid is gonna get confused. And that's why I remember a friend of mine telling me, when it gets to that point where your kid wants to know who their dad is, take your kid to therapy. Because that's a trauma. Being raised by a single parent is a trauma that you have to go through. So take your kid, it doesn't matter, take your kid to a child therapist that you've googled, you've searched kajua ni mzuri, peleka mtoto wako huko. Let your kid go through therapy ya understand why the dad is not in their life. But people don't do that. Mimi ndakuja nikwambia uongo yangu, nikwambia that is what happened and you will believe it. But this kid is gonna grow.
Because deadbeat parents are never gonna tell the truth.
They're always gonna make themselves like the hero. Mama yako ndio alifanya hivi, and I know that is gonna happen in my case.
Mama yako,
ndio alinikataa, mama yako ndio alifanya. Yeah. So what happens in then? Au umeniharibia relationship nimebuild na mtoto wangu kutoka ni mzee ni mle. Again. And also it also affects the type of attachment. Events affect the type of attachment styles that you have on your parent. Yeah. So kama mtu wangu amegrow akiwa na secure attachment style, and then I tell them what happened, and then they meet their dad, they tell them what happened, and the two stories don't match up. That is not going to be my kid is going to change from a secure attachment style. Their personality doesn't change, but their behaviors and their traits are going to change, and it's going to affect me because mimi ndo namraise. And leo unapatanga mtu yeye amerezwa na mzazi wake, but anachukia mamake mwenye alimraise because ndio nakasikia story huko nje ni uongo. So if you're a single parent out there and your kid asks about their dad, take them to therapy.
Yeah.
It might be expensive, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Did you hear about the Caspaniel vests?
No.
The Caspaniel vest story. Casper is a South African artist, and the story of his baby mama came out, and the story was all over the internet. She was saying about how the kid was diagnosed with cancer, and she had to live with the kid in hospital for like 2 years.
That's really
and
sad.
This whole time, Casper was cheating, and this other woman he was cheating with knew the condition the kid was in and their whole situation, and she was posting her and Casper like doing all those shenanigans they were doing. And at the end of the day, when Casper found out, he left her to try and mend things with this other baby mama. She's called Tobeka, something like that. And at the end of the day, Casper ended up marrying this other woman,
the side chick.
the side chick.
The side
Yeah.
chick.
And
Men and
the kid was in hospital,
Did the
diagnosed with cancer.
Did the kid get better? Has the kid gotten any better?
I have no idea, but
That's
I think,
really sad because
yeah,
I think in that event the attachment style of the kid and the kid is first
even the
gonna be
mom's
traumatized
attachment
because
style changes, right?
ataguna trauma because you know those early onsets of diseases and chronic diseases, they said people get depression because of it. So first the kid is gonna get like traumatized and depression. Secondly, the attachment style that the kid had to the dad is gonna change. Kama alikuwa secured attached to the kid, this kid is gonna change. Is gonna try to look for a way to, you know, avoidant, ile ana break barrier, ile I'm not gonna be able to get any secure attachment style to any male in that I know because my dad left me at my weakest point. Pia the mother, that's gonna affect her so bad because you trusted this man enough to have kids with him, and he was that the worst thing. Who dem mbona alikuwa na post like, you know, my kid is sick, you know, this man is not with me in the hospital, and you actually want to show me he's like, spending time with you, like unajua, you pia as a woman, like
unajua also as the other woman, it's none of your business. Like,
okay, it's none of your
business kenye what is going on in your family.
The problem is the other woman, like you have called her, did she know that they said walikuwa may break up, ni mtu alikuwa mgonjwa?
Yeah, she knew the kid was sick.
Did she know that the man, the artist and the baby mama were still together because they are
yeah
still so why date him and post about it?
Watu wengine wako tu hivyo, I guess.
That's really sad. Like mimi nasemanga kama wewe ni side chick, accept your role as a side chick, and as a side chick and as the other woman you're supposed to post your man. That's not your man, that's another woman's man.
But you as my man, you know, we're in a relationship, mbona tu unakubali kuchukua videos with the other woman? Like, you can cheat, but do I have to find out about it?
I'm gonna say this, and I don't even want to feel insulted, but it's an insult. I don't want to feel insulted, but sometimes men use 5% of their thinking capabilities. Like sometimes nataka kukaa chini and understand thinking process ya wanaume wengine, because if you're cheating, first of all, it means
for me.
But that's not even bad. I had a story on, there's a YouTuber, I don't know her name, but she does like something called the reunion show. So you remember this challenge for Hozambe? So this man is cheating on the wife, and then she goes and does the challenge of Hozambe with the girlfriend, and the side chick now, and the side chick posts it on TikTok, and that's where the wife sees it. So when they came to this show, that's not even the worst part. When they came to this show, this side chick has videos of her and the man doing it in bed, like doing the actual sex in bed, and like having them being nude and dancing. Na wewe ni bona wenyewe. Those are the kind of behaviors you guys do out here, and you're like
what are husbands even doing these days? Married men, like hata wakiona kamera kwa club unaenda unakimbia unajificha, like what's going on?
Right now men have the audacity, like, you know, I think people have normalized kubonga na kugongeana, like people have normalized cheating to a point where cheating is okay, but for me, you cheat on me, I don't care how much I love you, I don't care how much I trusted you, I'm leaving.
And then this thing of sasa now as a woman, like, cause this girl, she never spoke about it until recently. She's been keeping that inside. Ameibeba.
I think still make it
and then ameibeba, and then the man amekuja sasa Casper amekuja kusema accept everything my baby mama was saying, it's true. I take full responsibility.
I think I had this story now when you say about the I saw the apology.
I take full responsibility. Like, I wasn't like, I
always tell myself something. Mwanaume umenyang'anya kwa mwanamke mwingine, pia utanyang'anywa. A man you take from another woman who is in a relationship, and that's why I always tell myself, as much as I'm still dating, as much as I'm still young, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you tell me I'm going to leave this person for you, I don't want that relationship. Because utaenda upate mwingine mrembo kuniliko umwambie I'm going to leave her for you. And men don't mind about jumping. Wanakuanga kama chura, sorry to say. They jump from here to there they don't mind jumping. Because I don't think men feel the disgusted mtu akikuguza. Me, I'm that kind of person mwenye, if I'm dating you, if someone else touches me, I'm gonna feel disgusted. I don't think men feel that. I don't think even men have a problem sleeping with anyone around them.
So they like discuss in the little group saying
there's nothing I hate kama kusikia wanaume wamekaa chini. No,
I had sex with her, but she's not my girlfriend. I didn't feel anything.
Abu, tell me, like, have you ever understood the thinking process of men sitting down in a club and be like, unaona dem nimemkula, acha nikupe namba yake pia ujaribu?
No, you can't understand that.
Where do you okay process. Like I know us girls sit down and discuss about and but men sitting down and discussing that, it's so unamwambia ati nimemkula pia unaweza jaribu, unampe namba, like I don't want to share that. Like as a girl, I don't want to share that. Like, yes, I'm going to tell you, oh, this man is like this man is like this, and we're going to talk about like the bed activities, but you're never going to find me telling my girls atishika namba yake pia uende umjaribu.
I mean, it happens. It's not like
you tell your girl that. It
hasn't happened before. Like, haven't you ever had like such good dick that you also
want to share with your friends?
You want your friends to try the dick and see how good it is.
Oh my god, I should join your friend group. No, I have never. No, like,
but me personally, no.
You never do that.
No.
But people do that.
Yeah, people do that. Like,
you guys are perverts.
Anyway, like, to just wind up on things, how do you like move, because you said you're an avoidant.
Yeah.
How do you take the steps necessary to move from these other styles to being securely attached in a relationship?
So first you do the test of knowing the kind of avoidant and the kind of attachment style you have. And then when you learn, if you're okay with that avoidance style, that's okay. But being an avoidant is really hard in life, because it means you go through life being dependent on yourself and not having people around you. So me, when I realized that, the first thing I did is I wanted to create a family around me, people that I know I could depend on. And it took me being able to open up to people without the fear of being judged. You should dare to avoid Anthony. You feel people are going to judge you for who you are. So first of all, that's what I did. The second thing is I stopped seeking approval and validation from people who are not me. I stopped seeking approval and validation from people. If it's me, even if someone tells me, I'm like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, it's a compliment, but it doesn't matter to me. So stop seeking validation from people. Sit down and note down those bad and negative traits about the avoidant lifestyle, and then write the positive one. So you work towards the positive one as you cancel out the negative one. That way, utafika your point. And regularly, when you feel like, I'm going through this, but I don't want to talk about it because I'm avoiding the issue, call your friend, talk about it. That is a way for you to open up and being like, I'm okay with talking to people about my problems. I'm okay with people being in my life and living. Because being secure means you have to be okay with people coming and going. Yeah, so that's all I have for today.
Thank you so much. It was a lovely session. Guys, like, share, watch, and subscribe.
Bye.